What is going on, everybody? Quancredible here, and today we have the review for Four Nights of the Apocalypse, Chapter 13. And like this chapter, honestly, nothing crazy happened at all. This was really just them wrapping up the events of the Echo Gorge and just kind of this whole like mini arc type deal. Honestly, it was really short, so like I don't know if I would consider it like an entire arc. But then again, a lot of times for the first arc of a series, they typically are pretty short. But in the beginning, we do get to see that Nansen's notes that Percival like destroyed like this whole mountain area ish, and it doesn't really look mountain-ish to me. Like it seems kind of small, so I don't know if I would really consider this a mountain despite what the exact wording is. This is just one of the things where I would use my own like eyes and be like, well, that's not a mountain. So like it's impressive for Percival, not gonna lie, and it definitely does do a lot for like for just trying to gauge how strong he is, because obviously this is Percival's like strongest thing that we've seen him do, and it was enough to beat Talisker at least, especially since we don't see Talisker at all in this entire chapter, which is kind of weird. Like I'm assuming he got buried by rubble and died, I guess. I mean, that'd be the most logical thing to conclude. But like for this, it kind of gives us a little idea of where Percival stacks up to Holy Knights. Honestly, I've been mulling it over, and I kind of have a scale for how strong Percival or some of these, current Holy Knights may be. I may do a video on that tomorrow, depending on if you guys actually want to see it or not. But actually, getting back into the chapter, we have this really funny moment between Sin and Percival, where Sin's like telling him that like he can turn his magic off, but Percival doesn't know how to turn his magic off, so he's just like moving his hands and it's not coming off. And it's funny because even throughout the chapter all the way into the very end, his magic never turns off. So I wonder, is this like a thing, or does it really matter all like that? I mean, I don't think it should matter too much, because like there are characters that constantly use their magic all the time. Like Merlin's always using her magic to provide the illusion of like how she looks, or say King is always using his magic on his Chastaful. Like, just, it's like there's always people passively using magic. So like I wonder, like, does it really matter all like that in Percival's case also? I'd imagine there's probably not any kind of consequence or anything crazy along those lines for constantly using his magic. But it's just kind of funny if he always has these little chibi things around, these little chibi Percivals just kind of hanging out on him. I feel like that would be kind of funny. We also get Dolores waking back up, and I like this a lot because Sin, he basically goes into talking about how like the Giant Clan has the special ability Heavy Metal, which basically, if you watch Seven Deadly Sins, you know that like the Giant Clan, they all have the magic of creation, which means they can manipulate Earth and their bodies with Earth to a degree. So they can turn their bodies into like metal if need be, or even like manipulate the ground and turning it into metal or diamond or whatever. Diane showed a lot of this, and that Dolores was also able to do this to kind of lessen the blow. And it's like I was saying before, the Giant Clan is like super crazy durable. So like I didn't think she was dead at all. And I really like because Sin notes that Dolores must have had quite a bit of battle training or some battle experience to be able to do this, which really heavily notes that this is more than likely the Dolores from back in the day that was with Diane and Matrona. So it's like, obviously it's not confirmed, but like it's like 99.9. Like anybody that's holding out for this is the King and Diane kid, like you gotta wake up. you gotta wake up at some point. It's over. It is over. But from there, we see that Ordo is still a monster, and this whole situation was weird to me because Sin is looking for the staff that Talisker used, and like he breaks it, and then Ordo turns back to normal, like for free. And like, I'm not mad at this. I'm really not, like, but it's just weird how it felt kind of anticlimactic. Like, obviously, I like that, Nansen's and Dolores got their granddad back, but it just felt so cut and dry. Like, oh, he's still a monster. We break the staff, he's back to normal, and it's just like, oh, okay, so he's saved. No one had to die. Nothing sad happened. It's like I don't want it to come off as like I wanted something sad to happen, but like I was expecting it, I guess. Like I was expecting like for it to be kind of sad. I feel like a bad person for like not wanting Nanson's granddad to die, but like expecting him to be stuck like that or need to be killed. And then of course we get like the really touching moment of, you know, Nanson's and Dolores really happy to see Ordo again. Everyone's real nice and happy, you know, everybody comes together, hug, all that stuff. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, it was a really wholesome moment. But after that, we do get Sin kind of explaining what really went down with the Chaos Staff, saying that, you know, it's basically, obviously, a staff that is infused with chaos energy from the king being Arthur. And now it just really goes to show that, like, if Arthur is handing these things out, he's definitely, like, crazy. He has to be crazy. Like, I don't want to say evil, because he's supposed to be, like, chaos, which is both. He's supposed to be, like, freaking Twilight or something, whatever he is, light and dark mixed together. For some reason, when I hear light and dark mixed together, I think of Xemnas. Like, I don't know if you remember, but like the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2 Xemnas, when he like has the black and white, like I feel like we're gonna see Arthur and he's gonna be like Xemnas. It's gonna be so funny. But basically these staffs are mixed with chaos energy, and I guess they can just turn people into chaos monsters. I mean, I'm there's definitely obviously a limit. Like, you probably just can't just turn anybody, but probably like for like a civilian or something, it's more than enough to do the job. But basically from here, Percival says that he wants to go to Camelot to beat up Arthur, which is really spicy. like this situation got really spicy out of nowhere. To really, when you think about the grand scope of the story, that essentially Percival being a knight of death, like one of the four knights of the apocalypse and like a knight of death, is like directly related to Ironside killing his granddad and freaking Talisker messing with Nanson's granddad. Like, so it's like essentially Percival's going to be seen as this like horrible knight or horrible person off of two really small events in the grand scope of things, which is really funny to me, like when I really think about it. But one small thing I want to note before the ending of this chapter is that the whole contest for the hunting thing, which I really wasn't paying attention to, I didn't really see much I didn't really pay much attention to it in the story or put much stock in it in general. But the losers of this contest were supposed to do whatever the winner says. And Sin never says what he wants them to do. It kind of like Percival asks, does he want him to pick fleas off of him? And then like Nansen pops up. So it's like Sin never got to say, so it makes me wonder, is this going to be one of those things where Sin is going to save some crazy thing for later and then ask him and then hold it? And then obviously Percival is going to be held too, because Percival's a real honorable dude. And then he's probably going to hold Donnie too, because Donnie doesn't have anywhere else to be. So it's just really interesting. I want to know what Sin is going to ask them. But after this, we do have, they're about to leave, and then Nansens runs up, and, he ends up joining the group just because he's never had a true test subject, or I guess a guinea pig, as he called it, because undoubtedly, like, Percival will try any medicine that like Nansens gives him, because Percival doesn't have any sense of danger for himself, and he'll see it as him helping out a friend. Also, Nansens is a friend. Like, I know like everyone was expecting him to say friend in this instance, but he said guinea pig. But I have no doubt that like that Percival is Nansens like first true friend, probably around his age, which is really nice. And then we get like this whole ending shot of, our whole like new group as of right now of Sin, Percival, Donnie, and Nansens, which is really dope. I have seen, like, just talking to people randomly about Four Knights on the internet, or just watching some of the comments in other people's videos, that a lot of people aren't really too much of a fan of Donnie, all like that. But it's one of those things you gotta think about it. A lot of stories have a character that's based off kind of like us, and not like they're based on us, but they're based on a normal person in the series that has a normal person's reaction to crazy things. So like, if you think of like Usopp in One Piece, he's relatively normal, so anytime something crazy happens, he's freaking out. Or if you think of like Bulma in Dragon Ball, like specifically Bulma in Dragon Ball, she was normal, like, so us the reader could relate to how crazy things were happening in comparison to her. Like, it's a very normal character thing in shonen. I'm not like, I can't think of any right off of the top of my head in like other series, but like I know those two came to mind immediately when I was thinking about it. But as for right now, with this whole group, it's kind of weird, because I feel like once you add the other knights, and then obviously I'm still holding out for the female lead, whoever that is going to be, I feel like this group is going to be really big. It almost makes me think that they're going to have to like split the group up, which would make sense, because if you think about it, in Seven Deadly Sins, the actual group of the Seven Deadly Sins was typically always split up. Like they were really never all seven in the same spot at the same time until like towards the very end. Like, anytime people were coming together, other people were leaving, and it was their own small groups, which is something that I thought was really cool, but also annoyed me, because I wanted more interaction with all seven of them at the exact same time. So it could be something similar to that, where like possibly maybe not all the four knights will be together. Maybe like one or two of them will just be off doing their own thing, which could be very interesting to see how that goes down. Apparently, they're going to go to the next town, Sistania, however you say it. I've never heard of this town. I don't think it was one that was visited in Seven Deadly Sins, so I guess we're going to see where the plot is going to take us there. But all in all, I think Four Knights Apocalypse is coming along pretty good. I give this chapter 7. You know, it was a really basic chapter. Nothing happened. It was just a wrap up. Maybe even 6.5, honestly, because I mean, granted, the plot moved, but it wasn't anything crazy. So yeah, so let me know what you guys feel about the chapter down below. Let me know if you guys are excited for Nanson's joining. Also, I am curious on you guys' opinions on Donnie, if you guys have any at all. And then as for the last thing, let me know if you guys really want me to make that video, kind of figuring out how strong characters are in Four Knights of the Apocalypse as of right now, because I kind of have an idea. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of like guessing and speculation, but it might be fun to do for right now. So yeah, let me know all that stuff down below. Make sure you guys leave a like on the videos or subscribe to the channel for more Four Knights of Apocalypse content. Definitely, I got some big things coming up, so you know you might wanna be subscribed to see what's going on. Not even just that, but I got other videos lined up too. So you know you might want to stick around. Aside from that, you guys enjoy the rest of your guys' day, and I will see you guys in my next video.